What's up, you guys? Okay, so I did a 24-hour fast. I started yesterday at 11 and I went till 11 today. And I have some wisdom to bestow upon you. That's why I did the fast, because I wanted some mental clarity. And I didn't want to do a full 3-day fast, so I'm like, okay, I'll just do a 24-hour one. So I was originally just gonna do a fast from eating, but then I was like, you know what, fuck it. I need to fast from my phone too, because I am addicted to this shit. And I just did an Instagram fast, and then now I'm more addicted to my phone than ever. So I just wanted to take a break, even just from anything consumption based. So my phone, I didn't read any books, I didn't listen to any music, didn't watch any videos, didn't watch any TV, no tarot readings, because I'd be sitting there with my tarot cards. I need to slow down. You know when you use your tarot cards too much, or you watch too many readings, or you're looking at too many readings and your mind just doesn't have clarity, your intuition kind of gets thrown off? That's how I've been feeling. So I'm like, okay, nothing consumer based. I'm only going to be with myself. And it was actually really good. I feel like a 24-hour fast is actually really easy. I didn't get, oh my god, I'm sorry. I just drank a coffee, really quickly. I didn't get super hungry, but I was really glad to do the phone fast. And I was just journaling and sitting with myself, and I had some realizations. Okay, so I was thinking about, I have two things to talk about. So, number one is messiness. So I've been really frustrated with my home life lately. Me and my sisters just have a hard time keeping things clean. And we also grew up kind of in a messy house. I'm not blaming my mom, because I know that we contributed, but I feel like we weren't really taught how to keep our spaces clean properly. And I don't know, I just feel like cleanliness doesn't just come from laziness, it comes from a cluttered, oh my god, that's the second time I've seen 444 on a license plate in the past 5 minutes. Confirmation if you're watching. But what was I saying? I feel like cleanliness stems from a cluttered mind, oh my, bro, that guy just cut me off so hard, almost killed me. God. Clutter comes from a cluttered mind and a cluttered spirit, and I feel like I could tell my mom was dealing with a lot emotionally because of our space. She does tend to hold on to things, and we kind of had a lot of clutter in our house growing up. So it's almost hard to keep a clean space when there's already so much clutter. You almost need to get rid of everything and start fresh to keep it clean. Does that make sense? So anyways, I had this realization yesterday, because I almost felt like I was high. You know what? That's the other thing I realized, which I'll get to that in a second. But I kind of realized that being present is literally almost feels like you're tripping. I'll get into that more in a second. But anyways, so I had this realization about cleanliness, and I realized, okay, so why do people that are always messy, always are constantly cleaning, right? I feel like people that like to clean a lot are also really messy, because you wouldn't have anything to clean if there wasn't a mess, right? So I was kind of thinking about this, and I realized it's kind of it has to do with not wanting to be present. So for our generation, it's because of our phones, but if you're a different generation that's not on your phone so much, it could also be just anything you kind of do to distract yourself. So let's just use our phone for an example. Stay with me. I know I'm kind of off track right now, but it'll make sense in a second. So I was thinking, okay, when I'm existing in my home, what am I usually doing? I'm usually on my phone. Okay, so let's say I'm watching a video while I'm doing things. I'm watching a video while I'm cooking, while I'm doing the dishes, while I'm in my room, maybe doing stuff in my room. So why is it always a mess? Because I'm not present with my home as I'm existing in it. I'm always on my phone distracted, which means I'm more likely to leave things around because my mind is focused on something else. And then I had this realization, okay, if I was present with myself, not on my phone, just in the moment, with the moment, I feel like it would be easier to be intentional with what you're doing. You wouldn't make as much of a mess because you're actually being intentional with what you're doing. And then I realized that, okay, maybe the reason is because we don't want to be present with ourselves because there's something we're running away from, right? That's the reason that everybody has addictions, whether it's your phone, food, TV, whatever. People have a hard time with staying present for a reason. There's something you're running from. Okay, so we're going on our phone in the first place to run away, but then on top of that, now the house is a mess, and now the fact that we have to clean, it's another excuse to not be present because, oh yeah, I have all this stuff to do, but I can't do it because I need to clean the house. So it's like you're either always not present because you're doing something else, either your phone, whatever, and then when you actually do have the time to like do the things that like you actually want to do, like let's say you have like a hobby that you've been wanting to do and you're like, oh, like I never have any time. Well, what's the reason you never have any time? Because you're always cleaning. And you might be thinking, oh, like things just keep getting dirty, like or like maybe this is just how life is, like you just don't have time for yourself because you always have to clean. No, the reality is you do have time. You actually have all of the time. The problem is you're not present. Like somebody needs to hear this because I needed to realize this. It's not the problem that you don't have any time. The problem is you don't have any presence. And why did yesterday go by so slow? Because that's the other thing. I'm always thinking like, oh my God, my weekends just fly by. Like I work all week and then I have my weekends and then I'm just back to work. Like why do the weekends feel like they fly by? But then yesterday, time was going by so slow. And then I realized, oh, it's because I'm not on my phone. Like I don't think we realize how much fucking precious time we're wasting away. And again, even if you're doing things while you're on your phone, like let's say you're listening to a podcast, you're still like, your attention isn't in the present moment. And so time just goes by faster. But back to the cleaning thing, I realized that it's a vicious cycle that people are subconsciously in order to not be present with themselves. They don't want to be present in the moment, and then on top of that, they further that by having to clean all the time, which again makes them not able to be present because they have to clean as an excuse, but they wouldn't have that excuse if they were just present in the first place. Does that make fucking sense? This blew me away yesterday and I honestly felt like I was like high. I hope that makes sense to somebody else. But it almost made me realize like, holy shit, like, because I was just thinking like, holy shit, like all the free time that I have to clean. But then I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't have to clean if I was just present with myself, because then I would be more intentional with what I'm doing. Anyways, that's the first thing. Second thing I realized is about presence itself. So I was like, okay, what should I do? Because I just cleaned yesterday. I'm like, okay, I can't go on my phone. I can't read. What should I do? I'm like, okay, I could like journal. So I started journaling. But then as I was journaling, I was like, why do I have to do anything? Like I could literally just sit here and stare. And so I started doing that. Like I kind of just like I was like journaling, and then I would kind of go into a thought and just sit there. And then I started having this like realization, like, oh my God, this is what I used to do as a kid all the fucking time. And it is meditation. Like I didn't realize as a kid I was meditating the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Like people think meditating is just like closing your eyes and like it's not even, it doesn't have to be like that. Meditation is literally just sitting and like being, like just being. Like, oh my God. Okay, so anyways, I realized like when I was a kid, I used to be in my room and I would just kind of sit and think. I would just let my mind think. And I could look at something in my room and have like this whole thought about it. Look at something else, have this whole thought about it. And that's how like ideas form, or like, oh, maybe you think of this game to play because you're looking at this in your mind. That's like how ideas form and like thoughts. Like, I don't know how to explain it, guys, but when I was sitting there last night, I almost felt like the way I feel when I'm on shrooms, because every time I do a psychedelic, I'm always like, oh my God, I need to be present more and not go on my phone. Like that's kind of like the takeaway I get from every single trip is like, why am I not just here more? And I realized that the present moment is actually like a place. I hope that this makes sense. Like I feel like you won't get it. You won't get what I'm saying unless you are actively on this journey of the same type of stuff that I'm on. Like, I don't know if you'll get it unless you've either done psychedelics and know that feeling I'm talking about, or if you are committed to being present. Like, you're not somebody that's addicted to like escapism. If you're somebody that's actually present, which I realize how fucking rare it is to be present. Like, I realize, and I already know that I have a problem with my phone, right? But I didn't realize how big of a problem it actually is until yesterday when I was sitting and I was like, wow, I actually spend more hours looking into a different reality than the reality I'm currently in. Like, it's not just like I'm here. It's like, this is a reality. Like, I can't fucking explain it, but I was tripping. I literally felt like I'm in... Okay, I need to calm down because I feel like I'm sounding crazy, but I need to explain this in a way that like makes sense. Basically, I realized that the present moment is like so cool. Like, it's actually like a video game, and the more that you're in it, you start noticing all these little things, but that you're like, holy fuck, like the entertainment is now. Why am I picking up my phone watching something when the entertainment is right in front of me? And if you're not tuned in, if you've taken the present moment for granted, like most of us have, you'll look and just be like, oh, the present moment, boring, let me go do something. Like, it's like when you get used to it, that's why we start chasing more and more and more and more. Like, oh, I need to do something more fun. I need to watch something more fun. And then the overstimulation happens and the dopamine and whatever. Oh my God, there's a hawk flying by. That's my brother. He comes to me in hawks and falcons. Hi, Ryan. Oh my God, he's going right above me. Oh, fuck. I just went to the other lane. My bad. Ryan's trying to kill me. No, I'm kidding. What was I fucking saying? Okay, yeah, so if you get used to the present moment, you get used to like, okay, I need more and more and more. But then when you starve yourself of that dopamine, and then you really tune into the present moment and you slow down. I think what it is slowing your perception down. Because yes, if you just glance at the present moment, it's all like, oh, the trees, oh, this, I've seen it before, the road, whatever, I can see it all. But when you slow down your perception and you start looking individually at every little thing, you're like, oh my God, this is fucking cool. And that's why psychedelics are a gift, because they slow your perception down so much that you can be sitting there staring at a fucking leaf and all the intricate details that you're like, why do I not just sit here more and stare? And I fucking realized, like, holy shit, I don't need to be on psychedelics to feel this way. All I need to do is exist with what I have right now. Like, God has literally given us such a cool existence, and we sit here thinking it's like mid, like thinking it's just like, oh yeah. It pisses me off. Why am I getting emotional? I almost just started crying. But like, it actually pisses me off. And I know this. I know that when I'm older, I'm gonna grow up. I know that when I'm grown up, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I took so much of my life for granted. I was constantly on my phone. Like, I consciously think about that every day. But it doesn't like hit you in the heart until you're actually living in the present moment, and then you're realizing like, holy shit, what am I fucking doing sitting staring at a screen endlessly scrolling? Like, it's actually like heartbreaking to think about how much like of the present moment you're just not paying attention to and slowing down and focusing on. And I just realized that's what meditation is. It doesn't have to be closing your eyes and kumbaya, like it can be just focusing in on something random in your room and then just staring and letting your mind expand. Like, that's what consciousness is. It's allowing it to be and then grow. Oh my God. When I tell you I was tripping and I wasn't even on drugs, it was amazing. And then I fell asleep at like 6 p.m. and I slept until, well, I woke up a couple times throughout the night, but I slept for like 12 hours and it was amazing. And I was just like, holy fuck, like, what am I doing? And this is the thing, is every time I do psychedelics, I think the same realization. What am I doing with my life? I need to be present more. And then I just go back. And it's like, I can't do this because I have this vision of my future, okay? Of the family, the kids, the husband. And we're all just together being. But then I look at my life now and I'm like, I don't see myself doing that now. Like, just never having a phone in front of me. It's like, that I'm so far away from that future version. How do I expect to ever fucking live it? And then it makes me sad too, because I want to be present with the people in my life, but then they're also addicted to their phones, and it's like you can't really control other people. So it's like, and the other sad thing is too, is when you do start going on your phone less, which when I have done like fasts in the past and gone off my phone, it really bothers you more like how much other people are on it, because you're just like, why? Like, why can't you guys just be with me? Like, you don't even have to do anything. Just be, just exist. Like, we could have so many cool things happening if we were just together. Oh, fuck. Can I not go that way? Oh, okay, I can. We could have so many cool things happening if we could just be together, like just exist together. But we are all so conditioned to just mindlessly scroll on our phones. It's not a big deal. It's actually a huge deal. It's actually very damaging. It's so damaging to your attention span. If you think about it, if meditation and focus is what's good for your brain, and the way that your phone is constantly like making your focus to the next thing, it's like the two polar opposites, which can only tell me that your phone is actually so damaging because it's like the opposite of the present moment. I don't know, man. It's like I see this vision of my life of having no phone, and I just don't know how I can get there because, for example, my job, I'm a manager at a gym, and I would love to fucking turn my phone off. But this past weekend, it was almost like the universe was playing a prank on me. Because it didn't happen on the day of my fast, thank God. But the day before, I have my boss calling me, asking me to come in and stuff because there was a flood, not a flood, but the toilet was overflowing. And I'm just thinking, imagine I did my fast today. My boss wouldn't be able to reach me. Like, I'm not able to shut off. I'm not able to disconnect because people need me in times when I wish they wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, if something goes wrong, I'm the one that, like, has to deal with it. So it's kind of like this anxious feeling of like I can never just like disconnect, because if I do, what happens if I'm not there? Like, who am I letting down? And I don't like that feeling. Like, I want to be able to detach whenever I want and just like, if I wanted to, just go off into the fucking woods and never return, and no one would like need me. But I can't do that. And I guess that's a good thing to like, but it's not really like I'm needed for the right reasons. I needed to prevent bad like disasters from happening, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even for good reasons. So it's kind of just like, oh, like I can't even do my spiritual practices in peace. Like, that's what you're telling me? I don't know. It's kind of just like annoying how much our society has turned into this like dependent on phones, because it's almost like you can't go back. And I think back to when I was a kid, and like we didn't like, I know like I had TV and like the computer as a kid, but like we didn't go on it like this. Like, we played and we were in the present moment. I would sit in my room and just be with myself. And I just remember like that's when I was the most spiritual too, because I was the most present. It's like, oh wow, so you're telling me that we would all probably be way more developed spiritually and have like all these cool powers if we just were present. And then maybe that's why they want everything to be dependent on technology, because they want us further away from our spirituality as possible. Like, I'm sorry to be conspiracy theorist, but I really am to my core about everything, because it's like, I just feel like if everything is God versus the devil is always trying to deter God, and we are creatures of God. We are in the image of God. God created us. And so I do believe that there is a negative force always trying to knock us off of our path. And I do believe, yes, that phones have so many good things to them, but the human mind, and I'm sorry, it is designed to be addictive. Because let's say, oh, you just want to use your phone to watch one video. Let's say you set some rules for yourself. I want to watch one video. Okay, well then what happens if while you're watching that video, you're like, oh, I need to look up something on Google because this, like, already your mind just got taken to a different place. And then, this video pops up. Like, I don't know, it's just so easy. It's literally designed to go here, all in your mind. And within and then hours go by, you've watched all these videos, you've looked up all these different things. Oh, I need to make an appointment there, I need to pay my bills here. Like, it's literally designed to take your mind everywhere but fucking here. And I'm just so sick of it. Like, I realize that I need to come up with a phone routine. Like, I need to have discipline, or I will never, ever, ever reach my goals of being spiritually present. I will always be running from something. And it isn't until you're actually present with yourself that you're like, what the fuck am I running from? Like, it's actually so sad. And my inner child and all of our inner childs are probably screaming at us, like, where did you go? Oh my God, it's gonna make me cry. It's actually making me cry because, like, if you think about your inner child, that's the last time that, like, you were really, like, with them. And then, like, when you started, like, always going away in your mind. Oh my God. Oh! I'm sorry. When you started always going somewhere else, you abandoned them. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. And so it's kind of like, it feels like your inner child's like kind of screaming at you to like come back. And then every time I do, I'm like, why did I run in the first place? Like, ugh. I'm sorry. That just made me so emotional. Oh, that just made me so emotional. But it just makes me sad because it's almost like we are all so cool in our own ways, and the fact that we're constantly running from ourselves, whether you consciously are or not, you're fucking running from yourself. And when you actually come back, you realize, like, what am I running from? This moment is cool. I'm having so much fun with myself. I like my mind. I like my thoughts. And then we just continue to do it, and we're letting these fucking addictions take us away from ourselves. And I'm just tired of it. I don't want to let myself down anymore. Like, I don't want to run from myself. I don't want to leave her behind. Like, all those versions of me, like, I don't want to leave them behind. It's just sad. I'm sorry. I did not expect to get this emotional, but these are the things I realized yesterday. And I love realizing these things because it helps me change and it helps me become better. And so yeah, I decided I need a phone routine because I want to be with myself, and I want to be with my future husband. I want to be with my kids. I want to be with the people I care about. I don't want to constantly be running from them and always my attention on something else. Like, what is so wrong with just being with each other and being present? Anyways, that's all I have. I'm sorry, but I'm also not, because fuck it. I'm allowed to cry. Maybe you guys should cry more. My name is Sydney. If you like my vibe, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!